That's so short. I gotta fix that one day.
Dude, and
Promise I will.
there's a progress meter down at the bottom to kind of show you that the video is going, and I'm just like, oh crap, I can't change. We're just gonna have to do what we have to do.
It's been there for like 9 months.
Oh, that's great. It shows you how much I pay attention. So, hello
Let me
everyone.
see. Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to
I gotta.
the show.
Will you be attending study group tonight?
Will you be
They
attending?
asked me a long time ago. I should say. Sorry, no.
You should be like, only if y'all watch my show.
But you can come watch me right now.
That way, you know. Hello, Anita. Hello, CPJ.
I'm getting the
What
link
up,
for the,
double A?
for the,
Look, I'm gonna start calling Alex
everybody by
double A,
initials only.
double A, CPJ, AV,
BBC, BBD,
BBD.
East Coast family.
Never skipped a beat. Nah.
Now cooling on South Street. There's this video, so I pulled up YouTube, right? You know how you pull up YouTube and it brings up your choices. You know what? I'm gonna let y'all in on a little thing real quick. Actually, how about I do that real fast? Let's just let me show you what pops up when I open YouTube, so y'all can. Whoa, the sharing screen got updated. Sorry, that was a. Okay, here we go.
This is live.
You'll see whenever you go share next time, Joe. You'll be like, okay, what? It's a little overload.
We're live.
All right. So just so you can see, here's the stuff. Here's how it ranges. I do like to watch clips of movies every now and then, not on purpose, but they show up because I watch maybe like news that's coming out about movies. So it'll throw movie clips up there, and I like that. I'm okay. I'll sit there for like. They don't do it anymore, but they used to do like 1 of 10 or 1 of 8, right? And then 2 of 8. So you knew which clip you were getting. And you just get the highlights of whatever movie it was. I really like that because it was like, oh, I don't have to sit and watch the whole movie. I can just watch all the major clips. And they're like 5 to 8 minute clips of each. And I just get, I get that, whatever you want to call that, right? You get your fix. And then you're like, okay, I'll move on or do the next thing.
Nice.
So I was telling y'all I started watching this, or maybe I was telling someone else. I started listening to this web show, this YouTube called the What Files, and they're on Spotify, and it's all like what do you call it? Not just paranormal, but not like ghosts and stuff, but other paranormal stuff, right? So you can see here, what did they find in the hole to hell, for example, and his YouTube usually has less than 30-minute videos, but they're real fun just to listen to. And they talk about weird stuff like people who've traveled interdimensionally, time travel, the aliens guy stuff kind of things, but not really touches on aliens and whatnot all the time.
That is very interesting.
It is.
Like looking at the top of your options at the top and seeing what you're into. Extraterrestrial life, oven, roasting, podcast, gaming, Fandango movie clips, scene. It's like Jeopardy. I'll take Fandango movie clips for 100, please. It's like,
right. It's a
pretty good thing. What's mine?
Yeah. While you pull yours up, I'll go through the rest real quick.
Okay.
I was looking up for some ribs for Valentine's. I made some ribs, but I had to do them in the oven because I couldn't smoke them or grill them outside. I do love watching Dodo. I don't like watching cat videos, but I love watching birds, dogs, lizards, all that stuff. It's just a joy. I don't know what this thing down here is. Weapon meta destiny. I don't know. YouTube throws stuff in there you're just not really sure about sometimes. I've been looking at getting into laser engraving, so I've been studying that for the last 3 months. So I'm probably going to be getting a laser engraver here soon.
That's nice. That's cool.
Yeah. Science. I love the science channel. So they're always talking about new technologies, not like tech, but chemistry, biology, and geology, things like that. And then here's the weird thing. I noticed this week. Okay. I don't watch horror movies, Joe, everyone. I don't like scary movies anymore. So sometime when I had my daughters, I stopped watching scary movies. But before that, I loved watching horror movies. Like, I remember when Dr. Pineapples was in the hospital once with one of the kids, there was a horror movie fest going on at Tinseltown. And JD and I was like, oh my gosh, I really want to go check it out. And so I ended up leaving Dr. Pineapples at the hospital a few times to go watch these horror movies, man. But
DVDs.
now I'm a complete chicken. Like I can't handle a horror movie whatsoever.
Yeah.
But I love watching trailers for horror movies. that's about as close as I can get.
That's as close as you can get.
Yeah, I
Look
really
at-
can't. I can't.
Let's go through these comments here. Chone's already starting. Don't cry, Joe.
No, they Joe. That's Joe.
Anita, I hope you had a great Valentine's Day. I had a great Valentine's evening. The day was busy, but the evening was very good. Yes. And then, look, first time viewer, first time commenter
Hello,
here.
Franz.
Hello, Franz.
Is that in your dandy voice or
Yeah.
your Spanish accent?
Your Spanish accent. Mr. THC. Oh, tell us about the laser engraver that you already bought.
Oh, she was. I wish I could go upstairs and grab it. Actually, I don't know. I gave it to one of the kids. So in December, so I had already been about a month or so into researching laser engravers, right? I didn't know anything about it other than what they can do. So in Facebook, there was an ad that popped up that said, hey, here's this neat engraver that's like a personal, portable, whatever, and it's only $50. And I was like, $50? I was thinking to myself, I looked at, generally, I was kind of like, if it's not, if it's a scam, I mean, it's $50, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So I went ahead and ordered it. And then sometime in January, I forgot about it, but I remembered, and I was like, "Oh, I wonder what's going on. What was that laser engraver called?" And I looked, and then I actually saw a YouTube video for that specific laser engraver, and it was like $1,200, and I was like, "Wait a minute!
Wait, I just paid $50 for mine."
I was like, "Y'all suckers! you all got ripped off." So then I go online, I go to the laser engraver community, I find it, I look in there. Someone put a post that said, "Hey, do you guys remember the Coke's Elite, something like that?" And I was like, hey, that's the name of the laser engraver I got. And it was filled with people who were like, it's a scam. I got scammed. I got sent a quill. I got sent some earmuffs. I got sent a scarf. I was just like, wait.
Well, what did you get? Oh, well, we're going to be in suspense for a little bit until you find out, until he comes back and lets us know exactly what he had. While he's in pause right now, I'm going to go ahead and show my YouTube so you guys can see what I'm into lately. So gaming, chess openings, mixes, music, photographs, obviously. Oh, there you are. You're back.
Didn't even know if it was wrong.
Automobile repair shops. I've been like this guy right here, Vice Grip Garage. He is hilarious.
Where?
And he goes and finds these old ass cars that are like stuck outside for years, and he brings them back to life, and then he drives them back home, usually over 300 to 400 miles. Or this last one was 500 miles. And it's just funny. He's a funny guy when he's talking and stuff like that. So
funny guy.
Drones, filmmaking, The Last of Us, drifting. I want to
car drifting.
Like car drifting, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Gadgets, podcasts, combat sports machines. And so I've been watching a lot of chess. So obviously, the very first thing here is how I can crush the French defense as white. Every move is a trap. It's funny because they make it look so easy on the chess, and then you get into a game, and then you just like, I don't know what to do. I am an idiot, and I just blundered my queen. So
that was a total accident, guys. I was just testing, making sure she moves still.
Right. Oh, I forgot. My insurance agent's on the show tonight and asked that I not be drifting. I meant on the video game, Sandy, in the video game.
I am looking for a video. Keep going.
Oh, here we go. Dino's gaming. What up, JPineapples? Hope you.
What's up?
Y'all
I don't know who you are, but
great night.
Thanks for coming and watching us.
Yeah.
He's watching from YouTube, so that's cool. But look, I'm in case y'all didn't know. In case you didn't know, I'm somewhat of a big deal. Just gonna leave it at that.
You're kind of famous. Kind of famous.
Kind of famous. I'm not saying I'm not internationally known, but I'm known to rock this mic.
The microphone.
Yeah.
Let me put a little scratching in there for you.
I am trying to find a video for you guys, but
Sandy said Dino's been on the show before.
Oh,
Well, we have very short-term memory,
Like,
Mr. Pineapples and I.
yeah,
We're lucky that we remember our kids' names.
yeah,
So our
yeah,
sincerest apologies if we forgot.
yeah. We love you, Dino. Don't get me wrong. We love you, absolutely, man. We
Yeah.
it just.
And he
I'm
says,
sorry.
not kind of, dude's known. You're
Not
kind of
kind of.
famous, right?
Yeah, thank you, thank you. I
Joanne
feel like
says, oh, Lord. Like she knows you're famous.
oh,
That's the way that I'm reading that.
that I am. I can't find this video, but anyway, I ended up getting earmuffs for my laser engraver, guys. That's what ended up happening. I made this video on it, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, everyone!" I went live on the laser engravers
You got $50
Facebook.
earmuffs.
Yeah, yeah. I said, "Oh," so I had this whole video, and it was all like, "Guys, I got my laser engraver in, and you're not gonna believe it. It's out of this world. It's amazing. It's what you know." And I had the camera come in, and I'm like, "And it's so fluffy. Who knew laser engravers were so fluffy and versatile?" And I'm like, "Look." They look like they even go over your ears, and I'm like, I played it. I was like, whatever, you know. I was so mad, but I was at the same time, I was like, man. So anyway, I had to dispute the charges with my bank, and they're in the process. When I called originally, they were like, yeah, you have to wait till you receive the item, and then we'll do
Well,
your research.
so just be happy that it wasn't, a gold bar. They didn't try to buy a gold bar
Freaking Joe, I'm
on
so sorry.
yours. You
Jeez.
actually did that. So let's see here.
Oh,
What's it? Kirk Susan says hello.
oh, I
Hey,
know
hey.
that.
Are
Oh,
you
that's
sure?
Sue. Hey.
Yes.
So okay, let me tell you about her husband real quick. So they're really energetic and fun family. Actually, they're one of the
Mhm.
first families we met when we moved to Bloomington Normal. But her husband, he's known because he loves spicy foods, right? He at the time when I first met him, he had like over 250 hot sauce, different brands of hot sauce bottles all over his house.
Wow.
It was impressive, and he had stuff that you would like you had to sign waivers for, and it was in like these boxes that were in these bottles that had wax sealing the lid. It was, I mean, he had some impressive items. They were and it's always cool thinking about him, and every time I see a special hot sauce out there, I always think about him. And through the years, I've gotten him like one or two different hot sauces to add to his collection, and so I'm always on the lookout when I see this, that one really special one. The last one I got him, it was cool. It looked like it was a mix between uh Jägermeister and the tequila. Help me out. The top shelf.
Oh, the Don Julio or
Don
the
Julio.
yeah,
Don Julio. It
or
looked like
yeah,
yeah, no,
it's kind of round.
Patron.
Patron, yeah, never mind.
So it looked like a cross between if those two had a baby with that was a bit spicy. That's what this hot sauce bottle looked like. It was clear.
Oh
It
wow,
had gold flakes in it or silver flakes, and it was like mad hot.
nice. She says it's
Yeah.
over 220 now.
Okay. Over
So
to so maybe it was about like 150 then when I first met because it was years ago, right? Been
wow,
here for like about 15 years now. So yeah, it's exponentially growing. But anyway, they're a great family. Love them to death. They've been always super encouraging. Lots of joy. Hey,
very
Sue.
cool.
Um,
AA says I corrected my mom on my own name 3 times today. Don't feel bad about forgetting names.
Thank you,
And
Alex.
then she said, AA, shut up, boy. Dino's
I hear the
Gaming said
slap coming
in the
through.
B Town, he worked with you for a while and said you are great. So not only you're a
That's
big
Bloomington.
deal, you're great. Yeah. So
Aw, I appreciate that, Dino.
nice.
I'm sure if you have that to say about me, I guarantee that Dino's a great guy too. So
Yeah, exactly.
I have no doubt about
So
that.
Susan said she still has it, that particular hot
Oh, the
sauce that you're
hot
talking
sauce.
about.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's so cool.
And then she's been corrected. They have over 350 bottles.
Okay,
We
so
need to,
it
we
was
need to have
350
him
bottles.
on then. He's
He
got
is it is quite a
350
collection,
bottles of
bro.
hot sauce.
Yeah, Joe. It's
That's fair.
insane.
That's like Topher's like pumpkin
Oh,
collection.
that's
Like
right. That's a
we
good
need to
point.
bring people
I
on
sh-
like that
I'll
because
ask him to come on and talk about all his different hot
to
sauces
all of the
and
different hot
what
sauces.
started
And
it. And
has he actually tasted them
yeah, yeah,
all?
yeah. Oh,
Will
yeah.
he
So
actually taste them
he
all?
is. So that family, the Whitsett family, is famous for making chili during the holidays and during the wintertime, right? And so
Mhm.
he'll always try. He either has some of the chili that he loves and it's a regular, or he'll try
Mhm.
new one or different ones. But you'll always know that his chili is not to be played with, right?
Because
Don't come at them like you think
it's
you know.
fire here, it's fire down there too.
Yeah, but I have a lot of great memories. One of my other fond memories of Sue's husband, his name is Ralph, by the way. He's a music teacher for the schools, right? For high school. I wanted to say higher education, for high schools and middle schools. So he's taught band basically. But he used to teach me. He taught me this thing that I use now in my life. It's one of my staples, right? And it's I tell other people all the time. It's like, the quickest way to get from A to B is, you always say it's a straight line, right? And for me, I always tell people, I'm like, it's taking it's taking the cup of milk and just spilling it. That's the fastest way for me. So what that usually means is that, and then, again, from what he taught me, is like, man, if it's going to take you too long to get your point across to someone because you're worried about their feelings and how it's going to come across and things like that, and he was like, if your heart is not to hurt people's feelings, not to be a jerk and whatever, but you really just want to get it out and work through that. Right. He's like, just take the cup of milk and just spill it on the table, man. He goes, and then y'all can try to clean it up.
Just pour it out. Yeah.
And that's what it is. He goes, because he would tell me all the time, he goes, you teeter too much on trying to get just the right amount of milk in the glass. And what happens is time goes by, and then the next thing you know, weeks, months, years go by, and you've never addressed the problem, and the problems just keep getting bigger.
Wow.
And I was like, it was mad true. And I don't know what it was, but it clicked with me, and it made me, it changed my whole life. I'll be honest with you. It changed my whole life to where I was more of a, I'm just going to kind of just spill it and let it out.
I'm going to tell you right now. I'm just going to tell you right now.
And so I've used it with people who, when I don't know what the words are, but I know the feeling, I'll look at them sometimes and I'm like, I just got to be honest with you. I really just want to punch you in your throat right now. And I don't mean that to be rude. I just can't figure out the words or the way to do it. And so I just have to tell you, that's what I'm feeling right now. Can we figure this out?
Wow. So, let me tell you this. So this reminds me of something that happened yesterday.
Okay.
So yesterday, I know it's Valentine's Day, but during the day, I was asked to teach about photography lighting at a local high school. So the cool thing about Lubbock, they have what's called the Byron Martin Advanced Technology Center.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes,
so
yes.
All
That's
the
cool.
schools,
Congrats.
all the LISD, they will actually bus all their students there for all the technical classes.
Get out of here.
For photography, for broadcasting. They even had floral stuff, whatever. So I was there teaching about photography, and which was cool. They came in and then we talked to them about it. At the end of the class,
no, he's pretty big deal.
I'm kind of a big deal. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, anyways, at the end of the class, a lady comes up to me, and I'll tell you about it. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about later, but I'm gonna kind of change it up a little bit to protect the innocent.
Okay.
But she comes up to me and she's like, you know what? I would love, my husband has been looking to get some mentoring from a photographer. He's doing this, he's doing that. And I looked at her name tag, and then I was like, is your husband this? And she goes, yeah, it's him. I was like, okay, there's a reason why I will not mentor him.
Oh man.
So he was just, I was just like, I'm so sorry. He's said a couple of things.
Your husband's reputation has preceded him.
Right. Okay? Yeah. And I go, it's nothing. And she's like, okay, I know he does tend to rub people the wrong way, but I just want you to know that I am nothing like that. And I was like, I absolutely believe it, because she came up to me like so nice and so polite. And I felt bad for a second until I remembered what he had done for me to not help him out and stuff like that. So
that's intense, huh?
Right, yeah, because I just told her, I was like, I was like, he said some things that were not very nice. And she goes, I know he probably did that. He doesn't share that stuff with me. I just know that you're a photographer and that he has seen your work and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, cool. And she walked away and she was very pleasant. And I just, in my mind, I'm like, how are you married to that guy?
Isn't it weird sometimes, right? Like, I know sometimes people ask Dr. Pineapples that, and they're like, he's such a great guy. Like, how did you get with him? And you know what I mean? I know, so I kind of get it. And it's like, not to say that Dr. Pineapples is like bad like the husband, but I know people look at her and think, man.
Well, and it's just like the same thing you said. I was trying to find the right words, but I just came out and just spilled the milk and just said, that's what I was doing.
And there's
I
so
want to
much,
be
dude.
upfront with you, and she appreciated that, and she said she just wanted me not to judge her based on my interactions with him, and I didn't do that. So
And so for all my biblical scholars out there, it kind of reminds you of a certain story, right? Where a fool of a husband comes out, and his wife saves him from being utterly destroyed by the king and his army. And yeah, in fact, the guy's name in the Bible, his name is Naaman, and it stands for fool.
oh.
So yeah, he was foolish because he didn't let the king. He didn't help out the king and treated him bad. Whenever he didn't know that the king had was protecting him actually. And so when the king went, hey, can we get a little bit of water, some bread and whatnot? The guy was like, no, get away from me, be gone. And then the king found out, I was like, what did he do? He was pissed. And then the wife found out, and the wife was like, oh my gosh, go out there and meet him first, hurry. And so she goes out there, and she's like, king, please forgive him, he's a fool, he doesn't know what he's talking about.
He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Look, we brought you all this wine and all this bread, please take this. And he's like, you're a good woman, because of you he's gonna live today. So right. I'm just letting you know that, okay? In fact, your whole land is gonna survive right now because of you.
Right.
So
right.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Yeah.
I wanted to show off.
Please have him on the show. He'll send some hot sauce ideas to try. I don't know about trying on the show. But
we're gonna get him to get some photos of some of the hotter stuff so you can see, and then we'll get a scale so he can tell us where
level.
It's at.
Yeah, to see the Scoville level, that would be cool to see.
And he'll give you the whole run. And here's the cool thing is you can tell by oh my gosh, he's like Dr. Ben. So you know how teachers they have that thing about
presenting
them.
and speaking.
Yeah. So when her husband, when Ralph gets up to teach, I used to go to the same church as them. When he would get up to teach in front of the church, you could just tell he was an educator, and a good one at that. He was so good at just connecting the dots and taking you through things and not making it overly complicated. Yeah. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, how come I've never thought about this sooner? Seriously.
Right.
So now I will.
Susan said it's about King David, Nabal, and Abigail.
What I said Naaman, didn't I? I meant Nabal, not Naaman.
And then you said that King David ends up marrying Abigail. Whoa.
He does. But only after her fool of a husband, he dies. So
okay, I was like, that's some Jerry Springer stuff right there.
It really is. He does die quick though. So
Sandy is in the comments today, Miss Joanne. So she's here.
So Joanne's here. Check this out. Joanne
says, I'm in bed resting a little.
So I went ahead. I have been dying to make tortillas at home for homemade tortillas forever. Last week I finally got up the gump and was like, I'm not going to be ordering any more tortillas from the store. And I was like, I need some help and some ideas. So you remember last week we were on the show and we talked about that. Joanne had mentioned something. I was like, oh, I'm going to hit you up. So I called Joanne this weekend. I talked to her for a long time, and we were chatting about tortillas, life, and everything else. And so I didn't get as many pictures, Joanne, as I wanted to because my hands were in the mix and stuff. And so, but so this is the manteca and the flour. Right before the flour, before the water.
Lard? Huh? Is that lard?
Yeah, so English is lard, Spanish is manteca. But yeah, did you know that manteca or lard is it's basically pork fat, right? So it's like the rendering from your bacon.
Yeah.
Or any of the pork that you do. So just FYI, in case some of you were wondering, like I know my wife has an aversion to it.
Lard.
But it is anyway. Yeah. You also use lard in buttercream frosting, by the way, just in case you didn't know that.
Okay.
Good to know. Here was some fun. Here was some finished product. I was.
Wow! Look at that. They're almost round.
Look how rustic it looks too, right? Look at that. See, and
you have a gas stove, don't you?
Yes.
See
so well, I didn't even throw it on the stove, but I should have. But I had a cast iron skillet, so I threw it on there to do it. But man, and so Joanne, I remember you told me. You don't like to flatten out the tortillas with the flour because you don't like that flour thing, but I actually do love the flour taste on like cakes when the pans are have flour in it and the flour comes on the bottom of the cake sometimes. Like I love that taste. I love the flour on my tortillas too. But my family liked these a lot. We ate them all. It was really good. And it was the first time I'd been dying to get homemade tortilla off of the skillet and butter it up with some salt, and it did not disappoint. And I was thinking
Nice.
about my grandma and my mom, and so it was a really special event this weekend here in Casa de Piña. So but thank you, Joanne. Thank you for sharing the recipe. Thank you for giving me the advice and helping me put that out there. But it was dope. It was so dope.
Very cool. Very cool. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yes.
So Valentine's.
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it real quick. I am going to. I just need to show off my daughter real quick because.
Oh, okay.
Good Lord, I was like, she was making me. So I was like, oh, this is my oldest daughter.
Very cool.
And she was like, it's so cute.
Man, she was all decked out, wasn't she?
She was.
Look at those platforms too.
Oh yeah, you see the shit? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, whoa.
She was really, yeah. She was. This is after she got home from school, so she was really. I was like, oh, you look so cute, you little cutie pie. And so she got home, and she had gotten a ton of Valentine's gifts from kids at school. And she was like, Dad, where were you? I was ringing the doorbell for our doorbell doesn't work right now. And so she was like, I was ringing the doorbell for like 15 minutes. You didn't come open the door. I was like, what did you need me for? And then she was like, I had stuff. And I was like, we all have stuff. And I got into the dining room, and the table was full of candies, bags, flowers, rainbow balloons. And I was just like, cool. Holy cow. So yeah, she had quite a bit of stuff. But and then Dr. Pineapples was so freaking sweet. She had this for me, and I don't know if you can see that, but
oh, dude, that is a lot of candy.
Do you see it?
Pineapples, yeah.
She made a 14, yeah, and she made a 14 right there.
Oh, I see. Yeah, no, I do.
Yeah, but I
was like, where's a 14? I don't see it. Now I see it.
And then here, I like this too. It's taken and hungry, but not the single. And then just a whole bunch of little sweet treats in there, and then a card in the background.
That's very cool.
My wife does not. She doesn't excel well at communicating words of affirmation to me, right? But I know she does, and so her cards have become a source of like they help communicate what she finds. She doesn't find the words to say, and so her cards are always sweet, and it's one of those where it's like I take the cards as what her words are, because she's like, yeah, I just can't put words together like that, but that's exactly what I'm feeling. And I'm like, oh,
very really cool. Sweet. Anyway, that was awesome. But y'all didn't go anywhere.
No, I cooked ribs, so I made sure to cook them early in the day. They were slow and slow and low throughout the day, and got home, and I had that, some mashed potatoes, and just some random vegetables, and then everyone opened their Valentine's gifts, which were just candies, and the girls got some like not hygiene stuff. What do you call it? Like makeup and stuff like that. So Mama got them that, and I got them balloons with candies on them, and it wasn't nothing big or major. And we started this, and we did it at Christmas time. There's a grocery store up here, and they sell chocolate covered fortune cookies. Chocolate covered fortune cookies.
Right, okay.
And so we really enjoy opening those things and make an event out of it in the living room. And so we all, we'll pick a way for everyone to open it. So everyone opens it, reads their fortune in there, and shares it with everyone else, and just a comment or two on it, and then move on. Nice. But it's a cute little thing. They had them for Valentine's, so I was like, oh, I'm going to pick some of these up too. Got some sparkling juice. The kids love the little bubbles that those are. And so, yeah, it was just a really sweet.
Well, I will tell you, enjoy that time, because my girls are gone, and my son is 14, and he could not care less.
Couldn't care less.
He could not care less about it. So,
oh man, I'm sorry.
like my daughter is living on my oldest is living on her own. My middle
Uh-huh.
child's in school, so she's not here. So nothing, nothing, nothing. But the producer and I did go out last night, and let me show you. This is what I had.
Okay.
Just a guess. What do you think it is?
Fish.
Yep, that's right.
Chili.
Fish is
Fish
right.
on. Oh, it's all fish.
So it's Chilean sea bass on top of some kind of vegetable. I
Like
don't
a
know.
goulash of some kind.
Right. So I will tell you, the photo looks way bigger than it really was, and so it was good. It was more like an appetizer size
Okay. I've
portion to
had
me.
those. I've had those. But
Right.
usually I've had them when they're part of a coursed meal.
Right. Well, so we went to Stella's, and I love Stella's. It's a great
Oh,
place
I
to
was
eat.
just
Yeah.
wondering. I texted you about them some time
Yeah, yeah,
ago.
you did. So we go there because we've been there the last few years. Last year we didn't go because they had a new building or whatever.
Oh,
And
okay.
then we go there, and they have a very limited menu. So this is
Okay.
the part that sucks. Being me, is that their appetizers all had shellfish.
Oh,
So I was like, no shellfish for the Asian kid. So I couldn't do crab or shrimp or any of the things that they had for the appetizer. So I had to order like even the soup was a lobster bisque, and so I'm like,
oh,
I
that
can't
sounds
have
so good.
soup,
Actually, I'm
and
sorry. Yeah.
I couldn't
Jeez,
have the
dude.
salad because I hate salad because salads are gross, and so I
I like
had
salads, but
the Sicilian, or yeah, the sea bass, and then the producer
Chilean sea bass.
Chilean sea bass, sorry, and the producer had the prime rib. Luckily,
Mm,
her prime rib was bigger, so I had this smaller portion of Chilean sea bass and half of a prime rib.
okay.
So, and then we got dessert, and I'll show you the dessert here. Let's see. Oh
How
no,
did
that's
the
the
producer order
producer.
her prime rib?
Medium, and I told her it usually comes out medium rare is what it should
Hmm.
have come out. It looked like it. I don't think that the server was new, and I was like, the server's not supposed to ask you that. It comes out
Yeah.
medium rare. It's like that. So
Agreed.
right.
Agreed.
So this is what we have for dessert. I had the trio dessert, so it has a piece of cheesecake, tiramisu, chocolate covered strawberries, and then the producer had the bread pudding with vanilla bean ice cream. And I will tell
So
you, it was yummy.
the bread pudding
The bread pudding was
or all
absolutely
of it?
all of it, actually.
Oh, okay.
Except
Okay.
I
Okay.
didn't. We brought the strawberry and the cheesecake home
Uh huh.
because the tiramisu, like I love tiramisu.
Yeah,
So
yeah, tiramisu doesn't really go with either of those things, though. It
right.
barely, as a flavor profile, and this is coming from not just my opinion, but from a professional. As many times as I read the baker's blogs and all that stuff, dessert stuff, it's like fruity doesn't necessarily go with tiramisu. Tiramisu is a
Yeah, tiramisu
savory,
coffee. Yeah,
bitter, yeah,
right, right.
sweetness. Like a generic sweetness, like a vanilla sweetness, coffee sweetness. So it's
Right.
weird that they put cheesecake, which is cold,
Well,
and that
so
matches with the tiramisu, right? But
I would think they were just trying to shove a couple of desserts on there instead of having just one dessert of each to kind of,
okay.
because the desserts were like $10 each too. So the Chilean sea bass is $50. The prime rib was $50. These desserts were $10 each. So it was like
I'm surprised that that was not like an all-inclusive price, because usually
right.
I've seen Valentine's Days where they bundle it all up together. You get the whole three-course meal together, but to each their own. That's fine. But as
Right.
long as you guys enjoyed it, I think
That
that's the
was some
main
low
thing.
light. Yes, Sandy. Thank you for your photography critique. I was trying different angles, but it was not very good lighting. And then some noob got his shadow of his phone on the plate. So I had to tell the producer not to take the pictures like that. So it's just like that. Oh, let's
Speaking,
see here. CPJ says, do the chocolate covered fortune cookies come from La Bambas?
no, they come from Joel Osco. I was at La Bamba's tonight though, and I got my own sushi there, right? When I call and I'm like, yeah, I'm ordering sushi to go, because that's the first thing I ask you. They're like, is this for sushi or for uh, burritos and everything? And so, I say, this is sushi. So I want to order for piña. And they're like, oh, it's piña. It's so good to hear you and from you. And do you want your normal? Do you want your special? And it's like, yeah. And they're like, okay, we'll get ready. 5-10 minutes. I'm like,
5-10 minutes. Nice, man.
Or however long it takes. So it is funny. And Dr. Pineapples, when she calls us to order, because she works right close to where that place is at, and she'll do the same thing. She calls and she'll order it, and when they say what name, and she'll be like, Pina, and they'll be like, oh, we haven't seen you in a while. It's so good.
Kind of like this. She's like, Pina. And then you guys go crazy. You're like, just keep it down.
Yeah.
Because I think your wife and my wife are like that. They don't like to be the center of attention.
No.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't like it, but when it happens,
oh, okay, yeah,
my wife will take that spotlight and the microphone, and you're like, I shouldn't have done that.
Right, exactly. Joanne says, Rudy and I did Valentine's in style, went to DQ for blizzards. I am not hating that at all. I would be there.
So Joanne, tell us in the comments. But
with my lactose pills, I'd be eating that up like crazy.
Yeah. And anyone else in a marriage for like maybe longer than 30 or 40 years, however, as you get up there, our Valentine's Day, how has it progressed throughout the year? So if you can just give us a snippet, like what it looked like when you were first married, maybe in the middle, and now where you're at now, if you could write that out. I'd like to just
that'd be awesome. So Sandy said the Abbey stayed at home and had tacos and wine.
Oh my gosh.
Got chocolate strawberries and huge conversation hearts. Eric had some edible arrangements sent to work and gifted me a beautiful ring.
Ooh. A ring?
No, man.
He put another ring on it just to make sure to keep
make sure. Just to
I
make
like
sure.
that, Eric. Good style.
That wasn't photography tip. Just noticed the restaurant was dimly lit. Sure, Sandy. Sure. Yeah, right.
I saw the photo, and I think that's what John's talking about. I saw the photo on Sandy's Facebook. Oh my gosh, those tacos look so good, man. I was like, throw some cilantro on there and some lemon and lime juice over there and some hot sauce, and I was like, jeez,
man, tacos.
Yeah, taco. I haven't made tacos in a while, man. Speaking of dimly lit, Sandy, I was taking my little one to her horse ranch. By the way, she got accepted into a work study program at a local ranch, and so she's actually discontinuing her riding with another ranch that she was going to for a while because they are requiring a lot of commitment, like 3 nights a week kind of commitment, and so
like, we just can't do that.
It was more, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna barely find, I was all like, can we get creative and maybe like she can spend the night over here on the weekends? And the new ranch was like, I think we might be able to work something out. I was like, okay, good. So I was like, I'd rather much leave my kid through the weekend. That's 2 of the nights at least, and maybe even if she stays all day, that can take up to 3 nights. I was like, I don't know, let's just see. But anyway, I was driving out there to pick her up from an all-day event. She was in her work study for the first time, and it was like 5 o'clock. And let me just also say, I'm proud of her because the girl can't clean her room worth a lick, but when she gets out there to that ranch, she is scooping up horse poop, feeding them their hay, taking them for their strides or walks, whatever. She's doing all kinds of stuff. And so when she gets home, that little girl is tired.
She's beat down, right?
She is beat down. And I am very pleased.
This is your youngest, right?
Yes, so she's my youngest. Mm-hmm. And but anyhow, on my way to pick her up, it was the sun was out and it was really busting in my eyes. And so I stopped at the house real quick I'm like, give it 5-10 minutes for the sun to go down further. It did. I was like, okay, it's not hitting my eyes, so I'm gonna go out there. But as I was getting out there, I was like, oh my gosh. I had to pull over because Sandy was talking to me in my head, not in my ears. She was talking to me in my head. And I was like, I can't let this go by. Sandy wouldn't like if I let this go by. So I took my camera out.
Right.
And I pulled over in the back roads of where I was because, where your horses are, it's a ranch, there's farmland. And yeah, so.
Nice.
And
did the silhouette?
I did. Cool. I was messing with my settings and trying to figure out.
Is this on your phone or is this on your?
This is on my phone. My Samsung S22 Ultra.
Okay.
You see, it's got like 5 different. You can't see it. It's funny. There's 5 lenses on there, but they're like Samsung
Right.
has a legit good camera. I'm not gonna
Oh
lie.
yeah.
So I was like,
You need to start taking your real camera out too,
"You're
bruh.
right," and I had no intentions of doing this, but
Like
I
that.
was like, and look, I loved it, man. It was so pretty. And then when I picked up my daughter, she was even like, "Dad, the sky's so pretty outside." I was like, "I know."
You're like, yeah, very cool. Little
This
fuzzy
is the
tree there.
ranch. This is their ranch. So they have and this is gonna look gorgeous when spring comes and when fall comes again. These
Hmm.
trees are gonna look the colors that they're gonna start producing here very soon are just gonna be out of this world amazing. Oh, look at this. This is pretty cool. And I thought, Sandy would love this.
And you can, is that a star right there? Is that, or is that Jupiter?
Yes. No,
Jupiter's
no,
been
no. That,
shining kind of bright in the evening sun, or
oh,
in the
it might
evening.
be Jupiter.
Yeah, because that's
You,
really bright.
yeah, it is. You're right.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, I
Yeah,
wanted to show those off because I know how much y'all like photos and Sandy not being here, so wanted to show those off.
right.
Um,
Sandy said she loves it.
thank
And then she said, when I opened the gift, I told Eric it doesn't smell like camera parts.
you.
Sandy, I believe you have used up all your camera parts.
Your
And
camera money, your camera
your
parts
camera
money.
money has been taken up for quite a
For a lot.
while. So you need to go out and create another calendar so you can buy some more camera parts. Have you?
So
I wonder if she's been able to use her new lens yet, because I know that she barely picked it up the other day. So
I'm sure when she comes back, she's going to have some sample photos for us, or
right,
she'll
right.
post them, and we'll be able to ask her all the kind of stuff. So I was on Flows for You on Monday, right? And Trey, he has a girlfriend now, and he was talking about what he'd get her. So I was like, man, here's what you got to do. So if there are any of the fellas listening tonight, which I'm not 100% sure, but if you are, let me just give you some tip. Let me give you a tidbit tip for Valentine's Day for next year. Okay. You always get your significant other red roses, and you always have them delivered, or you deliver them, whatever the case is. But you always make sure red roses are sent to the office. Those red roses have nothing to do with your significant other necessarily liking them or wanting them, nothing like that. Those red roses are there so that you're
Because
not
jealousy.
you're not looking like a chump in front of all the other office folks. Okay? Because the other office ladies are getting their red roses from their husbands, boyfriends, or girlfriends, or anyone else. Okay.
Right.
You've got to not be a chump, and you better show up. I mean, even if it's 2 roses, because we get it, roses are expensive, but you do not let your significant other be at work while the other ladies in the office are getting red roses. Okay. So that's the first piece of that. The second piece is the real flowers that they do like, you have those ready also. Whether they be at home, waiting for them when they get to their house, or however way the living situation works out, you get them the flowers that they really like and really want. But you have the roses delivered to the office so that they can show off to the other ladies in the office that she doesn't have a chump for a significant other. Okay. So
Right, exactly.
take that. When you've been together 30 plus years, though, maybe the rules change later. But for you, if you're in a young relationship in your first 20 years, that's the rule of the game. Red roses at the office 100% of the time, and don't ever none of that.
Sandy said she hasn't been able to use her lens yet because it's been
Ah,
extra windy. And if you sing, I can buy self flowers. You ain't getting the new Miley Cyrus song says she can buy herself flowers.
oh,
So if you match up the song that Miley Cyrus has out right now, it
uh-huh.
matches up to Bruno Mars' song. I should have bought her flowers, and I should have spent more time with her. Well, she
Oh,
has an answer to every line of that song, and the one that she's talking about is like, I could buy myself flowers because he said I
okay.
could buy you flowers. Yeah.
I haven't heard it yet. Okay, that makes more sense then.
And then Jamie Helton, now you're setting high expectations.
Yeah. But here's the thing: I don't think they're high. I think those are just normal expectations. So
Right.
that's just me.
Yeah. John says it suck. I'm guessing
Or
buying
saying
flowers.
IT suck.
IT does suck some days, yes.
So their news came out today in the comic book world that one of my favorite artists of all time is going to be having a signature event. Okay.
Close to you.
And no. So
Oh.
there's this grading company you send your comics out to. They review it. They have the artist sign it. This is his first time doing a signing event, right? But the kicker was, I found out today, and I'm already trying to look through my collection to figure out what I'm going to send him. So the cool thing about this cat, though, is Mr. Alex Ross himself. This man is a legend and a genius, but not just any
Wait, he's
legend
from
or
Lubbock?
genius.
Did I see that right?
Yes. So he was born in, well, it says right there, he's born in Oregon, but he was raised in Lubbock, and he went to Coronado.
Oh my goodness.
And his first art came out in 1993, which is, it's pretty, I mean, not super recent, but it's within the modern age. And so it was from a Marvel series called Marvels, which was a showcase. The idea with that series was a regular photographer, so think like Jimmy Olsen, taking pictures of the superheroes on the streets when they're doing their battles and stuff like that. So it was a really cool comic. But anyway, his art is
amazing.
Yeah.
And this is the first time that he's doing it?
He's doing this.
He's been around for quite a while.
Yes, he has. But his art, my favorite art of his has been Superman. Like, that's my all-time favorite my favorite superhero. But the rendition that Alex Ross does is absolutely amazing. Yeah. And it's not just Superman, but you can look at all these. You can see the detail.
Lubbock, Texas?
Yeah. You can see just the detail. And, there's a funny little thing that people say. So look at all the faces of the men. And people always say, is he infatuated with himself that he puts himself in every single man's picture? And if you look at them, I mean,
so go back and forth. So look at the chin of right here, like
yeah,
or Captain America, and then go to Alex Ross's photo.
Oh yeah, okay, good idea.
Oh, look at the chin, and
isn't it crazy?
Go put on the Superman one. And then that one. Oh, look at the brow. That is crazy. Dude.
But hey, if it works, it works, right? I mean,
that is ridiculous.
Yeah. So anyhow, he's going to be doing his a signing event, and I could not be more thrilled. And I have a nice collection, and I have a pretty good collection out there. So I was really like, man, I don't even know what to send, but I know I've got to send a Lubbock book. And let me show you this book that I have here. It's in the collection, but I didn't pull it out. But this one's cool. This is, he's only made like 25 of these, so I'm thinking about sending this one off. But there's the mask. Awesome. I can't remember what that guy's name is, and then I can't remember his name either. But anyway, he did this cover, and he only, like I said, he only did about 25. But I was thinking about sending it to him, and sometimes you can square off where you want them to put their signature and in what color. But I was thinking about asking if he can put, to my fellow Lubbockite, and then comma Alex Ross or something like that, right?
That would be cool.
I think so too. It'd be kind of a nice little homage. But some of the other here's some comics that I have in my collection right now. These are not all of them, but I love the Superman Forever issue cover. There's this Ghost Rider he did right here. I have the Spider-Man right now in the collection. I have a lot more. I don't know. I must not name them right or something.
Superman's pretty iconic. I think you have to send him that one.
Yes, I
think you have to send at least one of those.
And I have plenty because I love his art, so I have plenty to send. And I might even send this one because I do love this cover. There's another one I have that's
the Superman piece. Oh my God, send one for me.
So I was looking at it today, and I was so happy about it. And but it's like $110 for each signature and to enclose the comic in the case. It's worth it though. It's worth it.
Right? Yeah, because it's gonna it'll
increase the value. And it's his first signing. It's his first signature event.
Oh wow! So
that's the other piece.
That's the other big thing.
You can only catch him when he's at a convention or some other public thing where he's willing to take when he's willing to do not photographs, signatures.
Yeah.
This one is specific, just signatures. You send your books in, he'll sign them, they'll encapsulate them, and you're good to go. So I'm like, I was really excited.
You're like, I have to do this.
I have to. I was like, I have to. So, There's something else I want to say. Keep going though. You can go on to your question.
So,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
so we had the Super Bowl this
Mhm.
weekend, and so that was cool. Of course, it was great to see the Chiefs won. So it's funny because I was an Eagles fan for a long, long time, all the way back until Randall Cunningham and Reggie White. So I was an Eagles fan. So I was okay with either team winning. And
Okay.
so, but it was cool to see Kansas City win. I think Patrick Mahomes is a great quarterback, a great team player. I've heard some things.
Mahomes.
Yeah,
Mahomes.
I've heard some things about him though, and I'm just like,
Ooh, what kind
but
of things? Ditch
yeah,
the
like
dirt.
like when he was at Texas Tech, he wasn't that nice of a person. But I'm just like, I don't know. He plays it pretty well, and he has a foundation. And when they're in college, they're young and dumb. They think that they own the world or whatever sometimes, and so um, it's just kind of crazy. But
Yeah, but what does that mean, right? Like, I get the whole I'm invincible, you can't touch me mentality,
mhm.
and like, whatever. But then, like, how you heard? Did you hear about Oh my gosh, I can't remember, but they just dissolved their whole basketball team because of the hazing.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about.
I,
It's
it
I know.
eludes me, but
Yeah.
anyway. So then, same thing there is like, you think I get the whole invincibility thing and whatever, and that I feel
Mhm.
like that's normal kid,
Well,
immature,
and the
immature
entitlement
stuff.
too, like the entitlement, like
Yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah. Like,
entitled to certain things
right.
because they play for a major college football, and I'm
Mhm.
just like,
And you're like, reality's gonna slap you hard,
really?
kiddo. Reality's gonna slap you hard, just letting you know now, but whatever. But then you hear some of this stuff. Like, I don't know if you heard any of the stories that were coming out of there. It's
Mhm.
atrocious. It's
Wow,
absolutely
no, I haven't. I
atrocious.
haven't.
We're talking about like how three players were on. This is the guy who's doing the main allegations there, right? He had three players who had stripped him and had him on the floor
Oh my
and
goodness.
were
Uh,
stuff after that.
oh wow.
And everyone else is in the locker room. No
That's
one's
so
doing
uncalled
anything.
for. That's so
No
uncalled
one's
for.
doing anything.
That's just crazy to me. I'm like, really? Like our hazing at Caboose was making people empty
The
one
hot
ice
water
machine
machine,
into
the
the
ice
other ice
machine,
machine. Yeah.
water the
It didn't.
plants.
Right. Or go next door and borrow the mop from Science Spectrum. Like there was nothing where I just can't believe that kind of
Anything like
stuff.
you
It's
would
just
touch someone else and assault them in any way,
right.
in
Exactly. It's like
any way like that.
why would you do that and stuff like
I
that?
don't
So
get it, man. I don't
it's
get the
crazy.
mentality. I don't know how that type
Anyways,
of mentality flourishes.
yeah. I
Right, right.
this
Or stop. Like, I could see me being like, nope, we're done here. Let
yeah, I would be
get
kicked
off
off
him,
the
guys.
team.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I'd be
No,
kicked off the team. If they tried to
yeah,
stop me from stopping them, I'd be
yeah.
kicked off the team.
I'm
So
with you.
I was like, you're just gonna do that because I'm not gonna put up with this stuff. So it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I couldn't.
Yeah, but yeah,
Um.
it was a great game. I loved,
Oh yeah.
and it was the Kelsey brothers. So I saw an article that the first thing that Jason Kelsey, which is the center of the Philadelphia Eagles, said to his brother Travis Kelsey was "F you, congratulations." Oh yeah,
Okay.
that's so brotherly love type
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
It's crazy. And then the whole uproar about the the halftime show. I didn't hear the what's it called, just the Star Spangled Banner,
Oh,
the
you mean
national
the
anthem.
actual national anthem
Yeah, I
or
missed the national
okay.
anthem, but
Okay.
I heard that Chris, what's his name, did a really good job, and I want to go back and he's a country singer, but I want to go back and watch it because I heard that it was really really good. And then the halftime show, I thought it was really safe in my eyes. I felt like it was really safe, and then I go and start reading articles, and I was like, "What were y'all watching?" Because I'm just like,
Why? What was the
was
article
like
saying?
they were man, it was all kinds of controversy about her being a devil worshiper. It
Oh my
wasn't very
God.
yeah, it was dude, they went off the charts with it. And I was like, okay. I thought it was boring. It was good. It wasn't very spectacular. She hasn't had a new song in 8 years or an album
My
in eight
kids were
years.
telling me that. My kids were telling
Yeah.
me that.
And I thought it was, and then I found out some symbolism of the thing, and I thought that was kind of cool and kind of funny. So it wasn't really that bad in my eyes, But man, it just caused an uproar to some people, and I was just like, "What? Were you watching the same thing?" Because I was watching the same thing, and it wasn't
Yeah,
spectacular,
I
but
haven't
it
seen
wasn't
it.
controversial at all to me. I felt, but
I've only seen a few clips, and when I say clips, I mean
like
3-second clips.
2-3 seconds.
Yeah. I haven't really watched it. I didn't watch much from the Super Bowl, to be honest. I didn't watch any
Okay.
of it.
Right.
I watched the movie trailers. I didn't watch
Mhm.
any commercials, and I saw clips of her
Right.
performance. And
Yeah.
I'll admit, my take on what I've seen so far is like, yeah, it wasn't anything spectacular. Like, it doesn't beat Prince by a long shot.
Right.
To me, that's the
Right.
top
Yeah, it
for
was
me.
definitely
Prince,
it definitely wasn't in the top range of
right?
what was
No.
going on. But
I did
so
think it was safe. I did think it
yeah.
was nice. I thought it
So
was nice.
listen to this though. This is the symbolism that you get from this. Okay, so it was an announcement that she was pregnant again. That was really the big thing. So
Mhm.
she's performing pregnant up on these platforms above in the stadium.
Okay.
So she's in red. All of her
Okay.
dancers are in white, all around her, right?
Okay.
So she's the red egg. And if you're an egg, what are you trying to get fertilized from?
Yeah.
And so they're all the dancers are in white all around her. So it just I'm just like, oh my
Okay.
goodness.
Okay.
I was like, that's it. Because she was announcing that she was pregnant
He was
and
pregnant.
she was
Yeah.
gonna show that's how it kind of goes down. But you like I didn't get it at first until somebody actually pointed it out. It like it wasn't just me that thought about that. But then when you look back at it, you're like, oh my gosh, I can see that. But some people were like went way far and said there was some type of devil worshiping stuff in it. I was like, oh my gosh, you guys are just out in left field, and it's just crazy to
I
me.
find it so hard to read that type of stuff, read that into stuff, right? Like, I get that
Mhm.
there are other people do it. And I'm not saying they're wrong or right. All I'm saying, it's hard for me to, like, I'm already living my life. I got my own things I'm worried
Right.
about. It's hard to catch on that. And you can read anything into anything, I feel like, unless
Right.
it's blatantly
Absolutely.
obvious. But even then, I'm kind of like, well,
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
then
we do.
people were talking about her like lip syncing and stuff like that. I'm like, she's a
Everybody
pregnant.
lip
I was
syncs
like,
those.
everybody lip syncs nowadays. It's not even a
It's
big deal.
yeah.
What?
At this point, it's
And then they were like, she didn't really perform. And I'm like, she's pregnant.
yeah.
she's not,
Would
she's,
you let your spouse perform? I mean,
yeah, she's not going to be dancing like crazy, like
yeah.
all over the place and stuff like that. Again, I thought it was a little boring. It was on the safe side. I just couldn't believe the whole,
All
especially
the
the
uproar.
symbolism and all the uproar afterwards. I could not believe that. So I was just like, y'all are crazy. There's no pleasing people whatsoever.
I mean, that's wild. I didn't
Yeah,
know that there was all that. I knew that there was some, uh, you know,
controversy.
yeah, but I didn't
Yeah,
realize it was that far. I thought it was more people were just,
no, it. I'm
yeah,
telling you, it went off the rails.
you
It
know,
was just crazy. Let's catch up on some comments
go
here.
for it.
Let's see here. Sandy said there was a hell of a game, and then Chun said KC did win. Joanne, to answer your question, after 44 years in March, we don't feel it's a big deal. Hey, we've been together this long. What more is needed to show how we feel? But that's us. And I can say we both like not having to get all crazy about Valentine's Day. So it's almost just like another day to them, is what it sounds like.
Okay, okay.
I read, Sandy, she's referring to what we heard about Mahomes. I read the same post you did, but there were some inconsistencies in the statements and lots of corrections has to be made. So was the memory accurate? And again, for me, whether or not it could have been true, my thing is they were in college. And so college kids are the absolutely dumbest kids I've ever met. So, and I meet a lot of them. They're just plain idiots. So, whatever. He's moved on. So, yeah. And then why post it? Yeah. Why do you wait until the Super Bowl to post it and stuff like that? So, Hakeem Grant was the nicest celebrity person I met. That's awesome. You got to meet him. But he played here, and now he plays for the Dolphins. Is he still playing for the Dolphins? Just let me know. CPJ says I would have newbies empty the hot water out of the coffee machines. Yeah, we did
too.
the same thing. See, that's the level of hazing that we did.
We're stupid. We're stupid. Just don't mind us.
And IT still sucks. Just say that. Chris Stapleton. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think. Chris Stapleton killed it.
I feel like I've heard his name before.
Dude, his music is amazing. I love his Tennessee Whiskey song is just awesome.
I can't get into country.
CPJ, so at least listen to him. CPJ, I literally cried during the national, but I cry at the voice. So yeah, so really can't do that.
I hear you, CPJ. I relate with you.
Double A says the most expensive baby announcement ever. And then other than California, I think he was talking about, I don't know. Oh, he said, sorry, bad joke. Yeah, keep those to yourself there, buddy. And then Sandy said, that went over my head. I had no idea.
I'm still not sure. I'm still.
Oh, yeah. She's talking about the Rihanna thing where I told you that she's the egg and then her dancers were the.
Oh, okay.
And then Chris Stapleton did some stuff with Justin Timberlake. Yeah.
Oh, that's the song I remember.
Yeah.
That's why I know the name. Yes.
Yeah, that's a fantastic song. I love it.
It is. I do like that song. He does have a good voice. Yes.
He's a great voice. So if you listen, like Tennessee Whiskey, man, I stop every time, no matter where it's at. I'm like want to sing along with that song. It's so amazing.
Y'all have never been around Joe when he actually sings and belts it out, have y'all? I have.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's lots of fun.
It's something, all right.
Can I tell you on Friday? Oh, let me tell you about my trip to Houston.
Tell you something.
Let me just tell you something. So my trip to Houston, remember the week before I missed my flight. We talked about that. I missed my flight.
Yeah.
So I rescheduled it for this past Friday. I was up in plenty of time. I got there in plenty of time. I had no problems getting on the plane, making sure I was there on time. I made all of my connecting flights. It was amazing. I get there early. I go eat at a little hole-in-the-wall restaurant, which is really good. And I get to where I'm supposed to go early. And I sit in the car. I'm like, I'm not missing this. I am not missing this appointment.
Not gonna miss it.
I get in there. So yeah, I made it this time. my appointment's at 2:00. I'm there at 1:30. And I walk in. I even walk in early to make sure I know where it's at. And then I walk back out because I'm like, nope, 2:00. I'm going to get back at 2:00.
Good on you, Joe. Good on you.
So I go back, sit in the car for like a good 20 or 30 minutes to play a couple games of chess. Okay. I get out. I walk in there. She calls my name. And she's like, hey, yeah, well, I can help you with that. You just need this. And I'm like, well, isn't this it? And she's like, no, that's not it. So that was not what I needed. So she tells me while Mr. Pineapples is locked down right now. Basically, the item that I needed, that I thought I had, was not the item that I needed. And therefore, my trip to Houston was basically a waste of time because I was not having the correct document. And so I had the incorrect document. And she's like, you need this document in order to keep going. And I was like, well, I thought this was it. And she's like, no, that's not it. You have to go to this website, fill it out. And I was like, no. So you can't do anything until you have that document. And she's like, yeah. But bright side, according to her, is I don't have to schedule another appointment. I can just come whenever because my appointment's good for 6 months.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious, Joe?
So now I had to order that document. So I had to order the document from the Philippines. The document itself is $25. But to get it back from the Philippines to the US, $85. And that was on special. They gave me a special discount for that. And so I'm like, great. That's amazing. So that was lots of fun. So I get to fly out to Houston again sometime in the future to get this taken care of. And yeah, that was awesome. She did tell me, I was like, well, how long is that going to take? Well, so first I think I offended her because I was like, are they going to have it? Because it's from a while back. And she goes, well, I was born in this year and they still had mine. So just like, and it's totally not what I meant. And I was like, okay, I'll order it. And so I had to go order it. And now I have to wait. She said, I go, well, how long does it usually take? And she's like, it can take anywhere from, she said 2 weeks to 6 weeks. So now I have to wait more time. And then I can go back and do that. Are you frozen again? what is wrong with your internet, Mr. Pineapple? So I thought you were like giving me the eyeball the whole time, and this dude's frozen on the screen. Okay, yeah, let's see here. You made it this time. Yes, dude, I'm telling you, I was like up early. I was ready to rock and roll. I was there on time, like perfect.
This is freaking unbelievable, guys.
Your
Sorry.
your network keeps freezing. That's wild. You're early. Did I hit her with a no mames? If I would have known it in Filipino, I would have told her that because I wanted to like smash my hand against the glass and be like, "No, we're doing it now."
I'd have been a little bit distraught about that, though. Personally, I'd have been like,
Well, and
yeah.
so the thing
Not
is,
that it would have done anything.
well,
But
here's the thing though. I didn't know. Like, I didn't know I didn't have the right document. My parents had presented to
you've been
me like
married how long?
this was my
You
document.
should know. Like, you should know because you
Right.
get in trouble for knowing what you don't know and not knowing what you
Exactly.
know. This shouldn't
And
have
the
been a
thing is, here's
surprise
the
to
thing
you.
too. I can't call them. I can't call them and say, "Hey, what do I need?" Blah blah blah. No, you have to set an appointment. Like, there's no direct line to them. You have to call and set an appointment. So, oh, the best
So,
Super Bowl commercial was a Tubi one. So it was funny because it looks like they cut back to the Super Bowl, and
mhm.
then all of a sudden the TV menu pops up, and it looks like somebody's like going through the menus and stuff like that. And Jet was sitting beside me when he did that, and he's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm not doing anything."
That's pretty good.
And
That's pretty
he
good.
found the remote and he's like, "Oh." I was like, "Yeah, it's a commercial, you dumbhead." But that was funny because a lot of people posted about that one being the best commercial because
I didn't get
I
it.
bet
Now
you
I get it. I
I
have
bet
to
you
go
a
watch it.
lot of people were like yelling at somebody. It's like, put it back,
Yeah.
because it
So
looks
I
like you're
noticed on the feeds, on my news feed, I noticed all my friends, everyone was saying something about Tubi. And so I was like,
yeah.
I didn't get
Yeah,
it.
so they may not have had the funniest commercial, but they definitely had the most talked about commercial.
Yeah. Yeah. It reminds me of the time when, oh, who was it? Was it Burger King who did their ad on, uh, it was either, I think it was Google, right? So if you say, okay, Google, and
Oh,
then it pops up and they were saying, go to the BK app or something
right.
like that.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
very
so,
similar.
yeah. So that's what it reminds me of.
You're right, Sean. Back to Lubbock I went. That's it. And is it going to take 69 weeks to run? Yeah, I'm
Jeez.
hoping not. So here's the thing. I actually had, so it can only be shipped via DHL. So, and of course, they're not going to pay for the shipping. So I had to go to the DHL website, put in all this information, and then tell them where to pick it up. And they said they'd pick it up, and the instructions tell you to put 5 days from the day that you pay for it. So they have time to, gather it or whatever. And so we'll see. I haven't got an email saying that they can't find me, so we'll see. Joanne, is this tax deductible? No, because this is a personal matter, unfortunately. What year was it on a stone tablet? Hardy, har, har, Sandy.
Oh.
When I tell you I was panicking, bro, I was like, "Who's touching shit?" Yeah, because Chet was yelling at me about it. I was like, "Dude, oh yeah." Sandy
Everyone.
said, "Bruh, we don't even have Tubi."
That's
So
funny.
that was
What is Tubi actually, by the way?
It's another streaming app. It's a streaming
Oh,
app.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
So it's like Hulu or
yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
Okay,
Exactly.
gotcha.
But yeah, so that was my adventure all this all happened in one day.
That's crazy, Joe.
5 o'clock in the morning.
In
I was up,
the
actually
course
I
of
was up
1
at
week.
4:50. I was up at 4:50 in the morning. I got home at 11:30. And I got sick. So
Yeah, I was about to ask you about that because you sound like you
Yeah, I'm a
just
little
started sounding like you're sniffling.
Yeah, so I'm a little nasally, but it started on Thursday, and then on Friday morning I was sick. And you know what was crazy is that I had to go up in the plane 4 times, and my ears were
Ooh,
like, oh, I
yeah.
thought my head was going to explode.
I've had that happen once.
Yeah,
For me, it was up in the middle right here, and it was just
yeah,
like, good God. I was like, oh my
yeah,
gosh, can we land this
yeah.
plane? Hurry.
I had my AirPods in, and I felt like they were just like my ears are going to explode. It hurt
Yeah.
so bad. Traveling when you're sick, especially with like upper respiratory congestion and sinus stuff, man, it was brutal. It was so brutal. And I couldn't even sleep. I was like, I can't sleep because I'm like,
It's all
pressure on
funked
the
up
face.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That reminded me because like last night I went upstairs. I was like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and take a shower because it's just easier for me to take showers at night. So then I got in the shower and like I'm frustrated because I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. The water's cold, and I'm like, it's 9:30 at night. I don't take a shower all that often around here because I work from home and it's cold out. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm not leaving very often. I'm not
Mhm.
doing anything. And the one time I decided to take a shower, I had just woken up. I was like, I guess everyone else in the house decided to take a shower or do something tonight because there's no hot water.
Oh wow.
I don't know how that relates to your story. I didn't mean it to, but that's just my story.
Oh
I
my
hate, and I
goodness.
didn't want a cold shower. I was looking forward to a hot shower, actually, you
Right,
know?
right,
And
right.
so I thought about it for a second. I was like, I'm just going to turn it off, get out, dry myself, and then I'll take a shower in the morning.
So you're
And then
trying
I
to
was
bring
like,
that back to my story somehow.
no, not really. I think I was just,
You just wanted to tell your own
I just
story.
wanted to tell my own story too.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah.
Randy, is it your criminal history background? Serious question. A friend has to get his, and he was needing that. No, it's not. It's my birth certificate from the Philippines.
And you asked them, right? You were like, you sure you have it?
And yeah, I was like, "You sure you have it?"
Okay.
And then I was like, "This doesn't count. This doesn't count." And I was like showing her the document, and she's like, "No, you need this one from." That's the wrong accent, but it's still. I was like, "You need this one." And I was like,
That is why I keep telling him to stop doing accents on the show, everyone. I've asked for
"Oh
years.
my
Stop it.
goodness! Oh my goodness, Joe! It's all
Um,
the dust and dirt and love. No, this is for my son. My son got me sick because he had the same symptoms, and he gave it to me. Little punk ass kid coming up here, giving me hugs and spreading his cesspool of germs all over me right before I travel. That's exactly what it was.
that's what it was. The
And
kids.
luckily, he had been to the doctor and they tested him for strep, COVID, flu, and he was negative on all of them. So it was just
Just a cold.
his upper respiratory. And so I had to do it. Did you see my Facebook post about knocking that one thing off my to-do list, my life to-do list?
Yeah, yeah. I saw that.
So I did a telehealth thing, and I was like, "Hey, this is so amazing!"
So they are pretty cool, actually. I
Yeah, I was
haven't
like,
done one
"Wow!"
myself, but Dr.
Mhm,
Pineapples has done hundreds of them
mhm,
because she does telehealth because she's in the mental health field, and
mhm.
so she does the whole
Right,
her office is upstairs, and
right.
she has her room up there. So yeah, it's always
Yeah,
funny, right? So at least here, it's funny because seeing the other side of it, I'm like, y'all don't even know. She's just in her room. She's just chilling with her blanket on her legs, and she's
right.
just
Yeah,
yeah,
it's so crazy.
you
It's
know.
so crazy. And what's weird is that, because we do this show, I have an idea of my camera and my framing and stuff like that. And when the doctor gets on, he's like this. So, what's your problem? Uh-huh.
Do you remember the video, the judge and the lawyers, and he goes, "Judge, I'm not a cat. I can assure you, I'm not a cat."
I know, yeah, you turned the filter on.
If you haven't seen it, it's hilarious. It's
Right, right.
bonkers hilarious.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So the doctor's like all up in the thing, and I'm like, dude, you don't take it like that.
you're like, whoa. Please
But you
back
know
up.
what? He prescribed me some good stuff. I feel way better. I'm
Was
probably
it
at
cannabis?
90%, so I'm still a little congested, but
Cannabis
it's
clears it
good.
up good.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you. Let me
Joanne
just
says,
tell
so
you.
you're stinky all week?
No, I don't do anything to be stinky, Joanne. We're stuck in houses all. I work from home. I live at home. I cook at home.
Oh, he called you a crybaby. You better
For
watch
what? Sean,
for
you go take your cold showers and then you
taking the
can
cold
not
showers.
cry about it, okay? I'm gonna cry about whatever I want to cry about.
The accent came out. I was trying. I can't do. You know what's funny? I can't do a Filipino accent. It's so funny. I can't do a Filipino. That one is my favorite.
Wait, time out. He can't do a Filipino accent. Can we expand the horizon on that and include quite a bit more, everyone, please?
No. I just can't do that one. I probably can't do a Jamaican one either because it ends up being an English kind of Scottish one. So,
God,
so
it reminds me of
yeah.
the time when what was his name? Dan? Darn, our UK guy, when he came on, and I was like, oh my
Oh,
gosh, you're
yes,
so embarrassing to me.
you're right, Sandy. I can do a British one.
No. Sandy, why'd you like it's no, you don't need to do it.
An Australian one too. Throw another shrimp on the barbie. Yes.
Moving on. I told us last week how I was using AI for some coursework that I'm doing, right?
For your cheating.
For my not cheating, okay? My not
Oh, that's
cheating.
right. You said you might be in trouble. Did you get in trouble?
Nothing's happened yet. So
yeah, because they're like, can you bring that back into our chat thing? And you're like, do I have to?
Yeah, I'm like, if you want to do your own and then have us join, I'll be happy to do that. But I am not going to be changing mine whatsoever. But I do want to stay compliant still. But
so make sure you save those notes for me whenever I decide.
Whenever you go through it, yeah, because I have to throw them your way.
Right, definitely.
There's something I wanted to say, but I don't know if I can say.
Well, while
Give
you're
me a
doing
second
that,
to think about it.
Joanne says, not true, Amy. So I think she's talking about you not doing nothing in
You are in Texas where the temperature drives up high enough where y'all just sweat from just doing nothing to. Up here in the north, we stay cool and chill, and we don't just sweat because we're not doing anything up here.
Joe, you should voice act for Bluey for show. For Bluey.
What that means.
Who's Bluey? Like
Blue's Clues? Huey?
I'm thinking saying Blue's Clues.
Or Barney. You know they're bringing Barney back.
Mm-hmm. That's
I'm cool. Bringing Barney.
Hey, are you gonna go watch Quantum Mania?
You know, I want to. That leads me into a topic. Actually, did I already bring up? Have you heard of Movie Pass? Do you remember Movie Pass?
Yes, but I don't. I have the Cinemark one now.
Okay, well, Movie Pass is better than Cinemark, right? Movie Pass should be better than all of them because all of them you can only use at Cinemark or at Regal or at an AMC theater or a Draft House. With Movie Pass, it's any theater.
It's movie agnostic. Movie theater agnostic. That's what you're trying to say.
You know, I kind of like that, Joe. I'm not gonna lie. That has a certain thing to it. So I
Je ne sais quoi. You like
that?
Yeah,
that too. Him too. But I signed up for it. So okay. If you guys didn't know what Movie Pass was, it's just like what Joe was talking about. So like Cinemark, you know, think of the subscription service that you have for like Netflix or Hulu or
I just pay $10.
Prime.
Is that how much Movie Pass is?
You can do tiers, and their lowest one, which is what I got, is $10, which is 2 to 3 movies a month. You get like 15 to 30 credits. You get something like that, right? And depending on the kind of movie you want to watch, depends how many credits it's going to use. So they tell you 2 to 3 movies a month because you could watch a regular 2D movie and it might be 5 to 10 credits, right? The earlier you watch the movie, the fewer the credits during the day. If you watch it during peak time, it'll be more number of credits. If you want a 3D or premium seating, you'll use more credits. But they say you're guaranteed at least 2 movies a month in any of the things that are out there.
So you pay $10 per month, and you're able to see at least 2 movies.
Yes.
Okay.
And then so you open the app. I haven't opened it in a while, to be honest with you, because I was waiting till the absolute first day to activate it, which was yesterday. But I got a credit card. It's upstairs in my shirt, and I can't stand up right now for reasons. And I'm still in my work outfit right now,
Please
guys.
Don't do
Okay,
that.
so leave me alone.
Your work outfit. Oh my goodness! You just.
But they sent me.
I cannot unsee what.
It's about as bad as your about as bad as your accents are, Joe.
I have no idea what you're talking about there, sir.
My God. I'm trying to pull it up, but anyway, so you get access to all the theaters that are in town or in your area, and you just pick the movie's time you want to go watch. They load money up on you get a card. You get an actual debit card. You take it to the theater, and instead of using your credit card, you just swipe this thing. Now, the cool part to it, though, too, is if you have your rewards points from the movie theater, you still get to collect those because Movie Pass is just a form of payment. That's all it is.
Oh.
So it's not like it's a side thing or whatever. Now I've noticed it's not letting me log on right now because I got to get on my computer. But anyway,
I was about to tell you, let's compare because I happen to have my Cinemark app up here.
I mean, we can pull it up so you can see the offerings on there, right? But so several years ago, this company came out and their goal was to make, and I had it when they first came. I was like one of the first adopters, and I became one of the first adopters for it this time because I guess my name and account was still in the system. So they're like, "Hey, do you want to roll up in Movie Pass again? We're coming back." And I was like, yes, please. Now I wasn't in one of the original markets that they were going to, like the bigger sites, Chicago, Houston, Dallas, and all that. But they released it in January nationwide, and they were like, "We're opening it up for a few days. Those of you who want it, go for it." So I was like, "Yes, it's only $10, of course."
Nice.
And
so on mine, I have 461 points.
okay,
and I get 25% off concessions for every visit, and then up to 5 additional tickets per transaction at member price. And then also, whenever I pay for my tickets online, I don't get the transaction fee.
okay.
So I save money on that. So, and then I get a free movie ticket each month that can roll over. So right now I have 2 movie tickets, and I think we'll be using those.
How many movies a month?
No,
one.
Yeah, one. Okay. Yeah, one that can roll over.
Okay. It still sounds like a good idea. It still sounds like a good deal. I don't think I think so far from
so it's not necessarily to replace this one, but it's just a different option.
Yes. So like,
but yours is movie agnostic.
Because there are cities that I go to that do not have AMC Cinemark. Or Cinemark or so
we don't have AMC here.
So basically you could, if you have a town that's like that where they don't have a movie subscription, and the AMC subscription is pretty high in my opinion for me. So I was like, so Movie Pass for me gives me the ability to go to any of the movie theaters in my town, and at 2 movies a month, like I can do that, and at $10 a month, that you know what I mean.
Actually, because the regular movie ticket's what, $14 or something like that.
Right. So here, actually, I'm going to pull it up on screen. And
while you're doing that, I'm going to go through some
go for it.
Comments. Let's see here. Oh, no, look at Bluey on Disney Plus. That show is actually great. Yes, I know it's a kid show. And Sandy said that's a lot of things to remember about Movie Pass. And then Joanne asked about your undies.
So, are you? I have daughters.
Or briefs or boxer briefs guy?
Neither. Anyway, I'm just like, I have daughters, right? And so for the longest time, the girls would call all the underwear in the house panties. So they'd be like, "Here's Dad's panties." And I used to correct them all the time. And then it finally got 1 year, it just was like, I'm whatever.
Yeah, so your panties. And then Sandy says, "Crikey, mate, we don't need to see that."
See what you done?
Jamie's work outfit is like a mullet, business on top, party underneath.
Y'all would all be in the same boat. If you're working from home, you'd all be in the same boat. And I bet CPJ is. She's got, anyway, I bet she is too. She's like,
so I'm 1 to 3 movies per month, 34 credits a month.
One. So it used to be 2. So now it's 1 to 3. And that's still fine because, again, if I wanted to go watch that premium movie, if there's only, like Quantumania, for example, I do want to watch that. If that was the only movie in February that came out that I wanted to watch, I'd wait to see when I can watch it.
And how much are the credits per movie?
That's where it's different.
Oh, that's where it depends on what time you go. Because if you go later, it's going to cost you more credits.
Yes. So you see at the bottom where it says all standard 2D screens nationwide. So in this one, I guess that's weird because I've seen some of them say 3D. I don't understand then what the difference is, but this would tells me that I can see any of the movies in 2D using my Movie Pass.
But you're paying with credits. It's not necessarily 1 to 3 movies. It depends on the seating, and you could use up
and the showtime.
On the showtime.
Yes.
So you could technically use up all of it or 2 of them, depending on when you went.
Yes, right. So like, how matinee is always cheaper and then the prime time is expensive.
Yeah.
Like I've seen it already on that. I've seen where
Right.
if I go to the matinee show or the first showing of the day that they allow me in,
Right.
it's usually the fewest
So
amount of credits.
what people, I don't know if they've been around long enough, but you are okay with going to the movie by yourself. Like,
Yeah, so I prefer actually going to the movies by myself in the evening or on the
mhm.
weekends in the afternoon. I used to not, but now I enjoy that because I don't have to wait or do anything with anyone else, and because I love my popcorn bucket thing, right?
And
And
you
I
don't want
buy
to
those
share.
expensive buckets. Yes. But let me tell you this, guys, and I will tell y'all this so that you can do it too. So the premium movie theater in my town is called Marcus Theater, right? Or the Warenberg. And that one has the nice warm seats. It's got the cushions that lay back in front. It's got the nice surround sound. It's got everything about it is A plus, right? That's where I
Wow.
would go to take my wife because she, date night
That's
kind of thing.
yeah.
I take the whole family to the local AMC because it's $5 before 5 o'clock. And
Right.
that's what I can afford to take a
That's
family of
great.
5 out. Okay. And then they want treats. So then what I do is I go to eBay, and you can do this. You go to eBay, you do a search for your movie theater, and then you put coupons at the end. So I'll do AMC popcorn coupons or AMC drink coupons.
Shut the front door.
Let's just hold on real quick. I'm going to just do a search real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. But I buy these coupons, and it's always cheaper than getting a large popcorn, a large drink for each individual at the movie theater. I can buy one large popcorn. Hold on. AMC popcorn.
One large popcorn that they share.
Oh, I end up getting each one their own individual. And of course, there's no exact matches found right now.
So
That made me a liar.
not real. He's lying. That's so eBay is not coupon agnostic.
Yeah. I bet it's on something like
Doesn't even
Macari or
Yeah.
what are some of those other selling sites?
I don't know.
Anyway, probably Facebook Marketplace. But I mean, I can show you kind of what it looks like because there's one here that's the movie theater tickets. So like here, if I put it in, here's here's AMC's. These are the black tickets. So these are just basically free movie tickets. You take the ticket in to exchange for the movie that you want to see that night.
Oh wow.
And it's not these exactly, but the ones that I have are specific for buying popcorn and drinks and combos. And I think it's like between 15 and 25. I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly, but they're around there. And what I know, when I usually do it, I have sellers that I've bought from in the past, and I just email them like, "Hey, I need,"
Yeah.
And they're like, "I could, yeah,
Hook up for that. Yeah, come on.
here's my Venmo." And then email me those coupons,
Oh,
and
my
then
goodness.
and my family's always, they're a little annoyed with it, right? Because then I end up having, because I have a family of 5, right? And so 5 popcorns, 5 drinks. The coupons come in 1 large popcorn and 2 drinks. So I'm doing this weird freaking math, and for every coupon I have it on my phone, so I've got screenshots of the coupon, and I have to pull each one up and then have them scan it, ring up the next one, scan it, ring up the next one, scan it, and
They're
then
like, I need 3 separate transactions.
that's exactly what it's like. It's so annoying. But then I get mad when my family goes to the movies and they don't do that. I'm like, why did you do that? And they're like, you're so stingy with money. I'm like, no, I just looking for the greater deal here. I'm like, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with it, by the way.
It's been fun. This has been a fun night. Thank you to everyone that's been in the comments. And thank you to Sandy for showing up and letting me do my accents. I appreciate that. Thanks to Chone for not giving us a mean face this time around. And thanks to Mr. Pineapples will be in contact with the Whitskirks to get the hot sauce going on. But other than that,
is that? Look at that. Look what I got.
HMIC.
Yeah. I just saw that little button over there. Mm-hmm. Yes, and so we were supposed to have on our ex Secret Service agent. She wasn't feeling well this weekend, so she said if she could reschedule. I was like, absolutely, we can do that because real life happens. And then I've also got that specialist guy who hopefully is going to be coming on either next week or the week after, who helping the tech industry how to prep and get back into the field.
Hmm.
So he's coming on. I'm really excited about him, by the way. He was enthusiastic, and you like when you have a guest who's very enthusiastic like that. The other one is just going to be cool to talk to because she's fun to talk to. I like her. But yeah, so we definitely got those coming up soon. I'm looking for the outros.
Nice.
Just a second.
All right. Well, we have the head Mexican in charge. We have the head Asian in charge now. And so when Sandy gets on, she'll be the head Sandy in charge, and that'll be good. So I guess we will talk to y'all next week. Be kind, rewind your VHS
And
tapes.
don't be filthy animals out there.
Don't be filthy animals out there.
Love you guys. Have a good
Peace.
night.
Peace in the Middle East.